Hi, today we are going to be talking about the process of action potential. This is a labeled diagram of a neuron. On the far left, you can see the dendrites, which receives incoming messages that activate the cell. Within the dendrites, there's a cell body and a nucleus. To the right of the dendrite is the axon, which conducts action potentials away from the nerve cell body. The axon includes Schwann cells surrounded by myelin and connected by the node of Ranvier. The myelinated axons have faster conduction speed because the myelin sheath acts as an insulator that helps propagate the electrical signal. The unmyelinated axons have much lower conduction of the nerve electrical signal, hindering the speed of the conduction. Now let's take a closer look inside the axon terminal.
This is a diagram of a portion of the axon. The potassium is inside the cell and the sodium is outside the cell, making the outside more positive than the inside, resting at -70 MV. One of the sodium channel proteins opens, which allows the sodium particles to diffuse inside the cell, causing the voltage to become more positive. Once the channel protein closes, another one will open and allow more sodium to diffuse through the membrane. This process is called depolarization. The next stage is repolarization. This is when the potassium channel protein opens, allowing the potassium particles to diffuse outside the cell, making the outside more positive again. The potassium channel protein stays open too long, and once the potassium finally closes, the cell returns back to equilibrium in a process called hyperpolarization.
Here is a graph that can better help you visualize the process of action potential. -70 MV is the initial resting voltage. Once the voltage reaches the threshold, -55 MV, the action potential process begins.
Here is a diagram of the synapse, a gap between two neurons. In order for incoming messages to reach the brain, an influx of calcium ions are needed to trigger the neurotransmitters which cross the synapse and reach the other neuron. This starts the action potential process all over again.
The neuromuscular junction is the name of the place where the motor neuron reaches a muscle cell. Electrical signals in muscles cause contraction and movement.